Someone DM'd me and asked me how I've been studying or learning information, and that brought me back to how I used to study back in college. You're gonna download the app Notion. It's completely free to use, and you're gonna create little toggles just like this. Okay, I was separated by exams, and within the exams there's lectures, right? And I would write out questions based on what I was being taught in the lecture. So for example, instead of writing what the definition of the covalent modification to a protein after it's been translated, I would write myself a question. What is the covalent modification to a protein after it's been translated, right? And then within the toggle, I would write the answer. As you go through the lectures, you keep writing all these questions, yada, yada, yada. As you go back to study, you would color code it based on the stop-like studying method. So basically, notice how this one's yellow. I would read it. So like, for example, if I got this correct, I would mark this green to indicate that I got this correct. If I got some of the answers right? So for example, I didn't list every single one of these out, I would mark this yellow. And if I got it completely wrong, let's say I don't know what this refers to, I literally just mark it red, and I'll just go through and I highlight every question if I know them or not. Now when I come back through, when I redo the studying, I would go back to the right question first and see if I got it, right? Go back to the right question until it turns maybe yellow or green, right? And I would go through it until every single question here turns green. We're color coding what specific questions we got right. So that way, when we go back and restudy, we are only focusing on what we don't know. General rule of thumb, you would obviously want to review the red questions every single day, the yellow question every other day, and the green question every 3 days until every single question is completely green. Two things that is really good with this is because you're writing your own question, you're forced to think about the actual answer and the concept of the idea itself, rather than you just writing out the answer of what the definition of this is or what this specific thing does, okay? The second thing is by having it toggle, you're forced to do active recall, right? You're forced to think about like, what is the answer to this question? And so this way you're actually studying, right? You're actively recalling the information by speaking that out loud. Some people might work better with visualization, hands-on stuff. I literally have a friend, his name is Alan. In his physical therapy time, he would lay down in his bed, close his eyes, and imagine the human body and how it moves to fucking study. And he's one of the smartest human beings I know. So if that works well for you, you're super autistic on that side, go ahead and do this. This is what personally worked for me, okay? This does not apply to like stuff like math or engineering, but more of like memorization. Yeah, I hope that helps.